So Capcut, which is the editing software by ByteDance, which is the company that owns TikTok, recently released this. It's a AI generation tool that you can use to generate images, but also, more importantly, you've got images. So you can either put a sample image in, or you can use a text prompt to generate a video. It's got assets. I don't think there's anything in here. No. So there's no like default sample things. You can see a bunch of samples people have made previously. I've had a little play around this, but these are ones from other people. Got trends, photo, anime, although most of that doesn't even look even vaguely like anime. Landscape, design has got some videos. I don't know these actually play. I think if you click them it plays, yeah. So it's not too terrible. It's got profile. There's also going to be a music generation thing. It's in beta. I've applied. I'm not sure whether I'm ever going to actually get to it. Although there is one way in here to make music, which we'll get into shortly in the current version. So there's a canvas, which is basically one of the things where you can put an image in and you can sort of do in painting, I believe it's called. Also got 225 credits. So it must go back up to 225, so I guess you can use them all. You can make here's some samples that I was trying before. So let's try an image. We can do a 16:9. You can choose whatever aspect ratio. Most of them don't let you do a 16:9 aspect ratio because they want you to use specific aspect ratios that it's optimized for. But this one can, which I think is very useful if you're making like stuff for a YouTube video. If we're going to do an image, we can do a cat eating a pizza. We could set this. We'll just leave quality of. Actually, we'll put it right up. Doesn't think it costs any more. There's also both the paid version and free version. You can benefit getting the paid version, such as you can spend less credits on a thing by putting it in a queue. I think that's only for the videos though, not the images. And it's going to create 4 images. Also for the videos, if you want to create more than one at once, you have to have the premium subscription. So you can see, for the images at least, it's relatively decent. That you can eat is a pizza. And then here we've got some stuff to generate video, edit on canvas, upscale, retouch, in-paint, expand, remove. You can try upscaling that. We can also try generating a video. Generate video. Oh, it comes up here. We can use relaxed animation, which we're not eligible because we don't have the subscription. You can have motions. You can just leave that slow and do random for camera move. So you can use the image as a default. You can also use a text prompt as well, which is what I've used for the previous test ones I've done. And again, you make more than one at once. You need to pay for the subscription version. So we'll generate that, and while that's going, we're going to have a look at some of these previous ones I've done. So these ones are just from a text prompt, which I imagine is basically the same as doing this, except it only generates one image, and then whichever image it happens to generate is the input image it uses. So basically skips having to do this process, but obviously you use the credits and you don't get to make sure you get one that you like. So the way you can actually get sound is it gives you the option to add a soundtrack. If you just click on that, you can see it gives you the option for a soundtrack, and it generates based on the first frames. I'm not exactly sure what information it takes, although as you can probably hear, it doesn't. If we can get that to play. Okay, maybe it's not playing now, but it did before. It's not really thematic, it's sort of like just random sort of jingles. And obviously it's short, only 3 seconds long to match the length of the video, and it generates 3 at a time. And you can also extend the length of the video. Best to do that before you do the soundtrack, otherwise the soundtrack won't match up. But if you extend the video, obviously that's something you have to also pay for. Also, like the images, you can upscale them. There's the frame interpolation, which you have to pay for, but there's free services if you want to use that. I think even Capcut on their web version has a free version for frame interpolation, so you can just download it then upload it into that. Same for upscaling video, so you could also do that. So you could again use those for the free version of Capcut instead of having to pay for this. And then the extended video, obviously you want more than 3 seconds. 3 seconds is very much, but it is a paid service. If we look at this, it's a bit weird because it's sort of just a floating piece of pizza, and they're eating it with a fork like spaghetti, so they've sort of just mixed up Italian food. And also if we count the pizza slices as 1, 2, this is sort of like the third one that sort of merged into that one, so 4, so that's half a pizza. There's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, that's half a pizza. Sort of just merged it in there, had an extra one. And that's all like the same type of pizza, and this is just like a pepperoni slice floating on top of it, and there's sort of like a void gap in there, so obviously it's not very natural. Another one I tried is using the phrase anime waifu, which I thought would just be a random thing I could try. I can try it again in case they've changed it now. If it doesn't like it, if it doesn't approve whatever you type in, it will take the credits, then it will refund you, so you can still use them. So it didn't generate 45 credits returned. I'm not sure exactly what filter it's crossing because it doesn't really specify. So I just tried a more generic one, just anime, and it does sort of look okay, except if you looked a bit close, you can see the girl on the left sort of just walks through the fence, and there's sort of a bit of distortion around where they're walking as well. So it's not the perfect, but if you're just sort of glancing at it, it looks like it could be done by a person. Also, it's a nice art style. Another one is I tried just food with camera control. The only options here is random, so zoom in, out, rotate. So there is no actual way for static, but if we can look at this one, when it's generated randomly, there's basically no motion here at all. If we zoom in, you can tell there's a tiny bit of motion from the start to the end, but only the tiniest bit of motion. So obviously it's capable of basically making still images, which is, might as well use the actual still for that. We'll make another food one while we are here. And obviously we go back now to the canning pizza one. It's an upscale version of it. And here is eating the pizza, the animated version. Looks pretty decent, this is a bit weird. I think what could be a useful, or food instead of food, what could be a useful feature of this is the animation of the image. So if you want, for example, to animate a scene, if you're making a documentary or something, instead of having to manually animate by doing some sort of motion tweening or morphing on the static image you want to use, you can use that sort of animate a drawing or illustration to give it a slightly bit of motion to make it a bit more engaging, like what you do with old paintings and that type of thing. If you look down here, we've got our foof, which for some reason is a castle, and we've got our one that's actual food, which looks like food. So we'll just wait for that to finish generating. And in the meantime, we can have a look at some of the other features. So if you canvas, we should be able to select an image. Might have to go into our text to image and then send one of these over. So we'll send that to canvas, upload that, and we can do any inpainting or anything like that. So we can crop that out. Paint. So maybe we'll get rid of that. And we'll try in painting. Just going to generate the image. At least it's got a progress bar so you can see how far it's come along. And it's sort of done that. And there's a few other alternatives. Pretty much all of them look good. The focus are a bit weird, but it's adding something else. But they look all pretty decent. Go back. Another thing we're going to go back to is the explore. So obviously there's this version to explore, but we can also bring this up so it's the whole page. And if we, for example, select one of these, we can see the prompt, and we can also use the prompts. So I'll also use that to generate an image like them. As far as you can't change the information there, but I guess it's using their image instead of a new one. I think overall this tool is quite useful. Let's go back to our files, and you can see the castle. Actually, okay, the cat one is just blank, so that's not very good. But if we play this, that looks pretty decent. Especially when you get so many credits for free. I've only got 37 left, but they should expire and refill tomorrow. Again, another food one where there's no actual motion, so I'm not sure what actually triggers there to be no motion. You'll also wait for this one to finish generating. This one might take a while to generate, so we'll probably just leave the video here. If you like the video, comment down below your thoughts and ideas, features, and subscribe so you don't miss any videos like this in the future.